Hello, welcome to my channel, Go Sew Beautiful. My name is Becky, and today I want to share with you the frugal frock I made for the Frugalfrock2021 challenge hosted by Sam from Frugalissima and Joann from the Yorkshire Showgirl. Say that fast 3 times. First, I'll show you what I'm wearing. I did make this. Can't see the bottom of it. I'll pop a picture in later. Anyway, this is the, this is the schoolhouse tunic from Sew Liberated. And I made this a couple of years ago. When I was scrolling through Pinterest, I saw it and I thought, oh, that's really cute. And I do like wearing it. However, as you can see, I did add these little ribbon ties here because the split sort of flies open a lot, so I wanted something to kind of close it up. The ribbons are really slippery, so I'm probably going to change those to some buttons and loops. It's got 3/4 length sleeves, and I believe in the pattern that calls for elastic, but I wanted to make mine I'm not supposed to say a lot. My husband said I say too much in my videos, so I wanted mine just plain. Okay, on to the frugal frock. My first choice was another pattern I found on Pinterest, and I can't even remember where the website is, but it's actually a dress where you make the fabric by stamping an image on it, and I thought it was really cute. Now, I wasn't going to stamp an image on my fabric. I was just going to use some in my stash, but I made a muslin just to make sure it looked okay, and I'm glad I did because I really did not like the way it looked. It was didn't have enough shape for me, and I tried adding darts and that didn't work either. So I kind of went back to the drawing board and listening. Oh, I said it again. I listened to a lot of the other vloggers who were making suggestions for patterns to use, and Whitney from Tomcat Stitchery suggested some really pretty patterns from fabricstore.com. Excuse me, I got a tickle. It's pollen season here in Georgia. Do y'all know what pollen is like? It's yellow dust that literally coats every surface outside, and it gets in your nasal passages and causes terrible, terrible, terrible respiratory problems. Anyway, I digress. I chose a pattern from fabricstore.com called the Diana button-down pleated linen dress, and this is what it looks like. There were several other pictures of the model wearing this dress, and I said, oh, that looks really cute. They had a lot of patterns I could have used. I did it again, but I just liked the way this one looked with the V-neck. There was one that had a notched collar, but I really didn't want to tackle that, so instead, I chose one that has 10 buttons down the front. I did find some nice buttons, though, in my stash. I had 3 cards. They had 3 each on them, and they were just right for the dress. They were little brown wooden buttons. And since there were 10, I only had 9, I did find another one that was similar to it, but it's plastic. Anyway, I don't think anybody will notice it. So this pattern comes in sizes 02 to 2830. It is available to print at home on letter paper or A4. And it also comes, the PDF comes in layers so that you can print off just the sizes that you want. I made a size 14, I believe, and it had plenty of room in it, and so much I think that I may actually add ties. Here it is right here. And here are the buttons, all 10 of them. And as you can see, it's pretty wide. It does have pockets, grown on sleeves with a nice little cuff, and they have a tutorial for how to do that. Now, since this was from the linen store, I had some linen in my stash that I bought in the 90s, and I dry cleaned it. I actually bought this color, which is kind of ivory, and black, because I thought those were good classic go with everything colors. Now, I hadn't cut into it, number one, because I wasn't sure what I wanted to make with it, but this was the perfect opportunity to use this fabric. So I, since it was already dry cleaned, I didn't have to pre-treat it really. Although I noticed when I was cutting it out and sewing it up that it looked like it had some water stains or something. I know it didn't get, I didn't get any water on it or anything, but I think just because of the age, things from the air may have gotten to it. They were really faint and didn't show that much. But I decided after I posted my picture, after I got it made, to soak it in OxyClean. And it looked white, pretty white to begin with, but the OxyClean just made it really bright. And it really looks beautiful. So that's my Frugal frock, and then probably the most complicated thing were the buttons and the buttonholes. For some reason, my sewing machine, it has a memory feature on it, so that when you make one buttonhole, you hit the memory button, and it'll make all of the rest of them exactly the same. Well, for some reason, it bunched up and they didn't come out the same, so I was kind of frustrated with that, and I probably unpicked 5 of the 10 buttonholes before I got them right, and some of them I had to pick out more than once, which isn't that difficult, but it was time consuming and tedious. Then of course I had to sew on 10 buttons, which is not that hard. It's not hard to do, but I did want them to be in the right spot, and I think I'm going to have to move a couple of them over because I don't know if you can see this doesn't quite lap all the way over, so I'll redo that. Okay, so a couple other things to mention about the making of this dress. I had just enough to cut out the bodice and the skirt and the back facing, which there's really not that many pieces to the pattern, but I didn't quite have enough to do the pockets and the front facing. So I had to choose between the pockets and the front facing, and I chose to cut the pockets out of the linen because I didn't want I thought they might show, or they might look darker. The linen is not quite see-through, but anyway, so I had to find something else to make the front facing with, and I almost was gonna buy some fabric to match, and I thought, oh no, wait, that would make it not frugal. So I found a piece of just plain ivory colored broadcloth and used that for my neck facing, and it worked fine. The other thing was the pleats. The first time I made this, I folded the pleats incorrectly. I was in a hurry, and so they were facing multiple directions. So I had to unpick that and redo them and made sure that they were folded the right way. The pattern has good markings on it. You just need to make sure you know which direction you need to fold the marks in to get them facing correctly. The other thing was the tutorial for this cuff I believe it says that you need to first fold up the hem about 2.5 inches. And I couldn't do that without getting puckering in the sleeve because it tapers down. So, and I apparently didn't cut out a little flange or make it wider at the end of the sleeve enough to fold up that much. So I only folded mine up about 1.5 inches, I think. And then I folded it again to make this cuff and stitched in the ditch along the seams to hold it there. The final thing about this garment is it is a beast to iron. I think linen wrinkles and creases so easily. All you have to do is touch it and it wrinkles. So I persevered in my ironing. It seemed like every time I ironed one section, I would make a wrinkle in another. So it took a little bit to iron it. You can use starch to keep it a little bit, give it a little bit more body and possibly wrinkle less. I chose not to use starch just because I like the way it flowed without the starch in it. It makes it a little stiffer. So just know that when you wear this, it's going to have wrinkles and creases. But overall, I am really just pleased as can be with this make. And the best part about the challenge is I won something. So I was so excited to get a message from Sam at Frugalisma. She said, we need your address because you have won the Minerva package and they're going to send you a 100-pound gift package. So I am super excited about that, and I'll make a video when I get it and open it up and show everybody. I love Minerva Fabrics, and I've ordered from them just once, but I'm really excited to see what they send me. Whether I'd won or not, this was a great challenge and really fun to find patterns that are free. I was amazed at all the free patterns that are available. So I may, since I need to use up my stash, and I already have a bazillion patterns, way too many, I may try to use some of those free patterns to make and do one garment a month, one frugal frock per month, or one frugal make per month. We'll see. Anyway, that's all for today. If you like what you see, hit that like button and mash subscribe so you can see more videos from Go So Beautiful. Love you all. Have a great day. Bye-bye.